The woman carried an axe with overwhelming aura heading back to claim her family fortune. She directly split the conference room door open with one swing and rushed in, handed each shareholder present a share transfer agreement. Then she dropped a ruthless threat. That oppressive aura straight from hell made those cunning old foxes shiver instantly. They obediently signed the agreement, but there was still one who didn't know when to quit, saying he'd never sign no matter what. Unexpectedly in the next second, two bodyguards stepped forward and threw him straight off the 18th floor. He died on the spot. No one knew this woman was actually the leader of Lioli Palace, the top power on the secret ranking. She was ruthless and showed no mercy, and her combat power was off the charts. The notorious Black Dragon Gang was wiped out by her in less than the time to smoke a cigarette. A local tyrant tried to sneak a shot at her from behind, but facing the flying bullet, she didn't panic at all. She flipped the bullet away with a casual flick, and it hit the tyrant right between the eyes, taking him down instantly. Her subordinate reported to her that her father had passed away from illness, urging her to return home for the funeral, and also mentioned that the Su family was in a bad spot now. The woman recalled being driven out of the family as a child, and being called a jinx by her father after her mother died. In the end, she still decided to go back. After arriving, the butler told her her father's second wife had given birth to two sons, and the second young master Su Chengji insisted on picking her up. He also reminded her the second young master was a bit special, asking her to be patient. The woman thought he was just another spoiled playboy. Unexpectedly, the next second, a 5-year-old boy ran over calling her sister. That's when she realized this was the second young master the butler talked about. Seeing the bodyguards about to attack the woman, the little boy stood in front of her to protect her, saying she was his eldest sister, and no one was allowed to bully her. The woman asked the little boy if he knew why she came back. The boy straightforwardly said it was to split the family property, but he didn't hate her. He also said his eldest brother only knew how to drink, gamble, and do nothing useful. When the third branch and the directors made their father angry, their father always said the person he felt most sorry for was her. Then he took out his piggy bank and handed it to her, begging her to take him to punish the bad guys. The woman understood why her father wanted her back. He wanted her to fix the messy Su family, so she decided to take the little boy and stabilize the situation. The little boy took the woman to the company, saying the security here was tight and their father had been carried away after spitting blood here before. At that time, the Su family directors were having a private board meeting. Totally ignoring the will left by the chairman, they firmly refused to let the woman take over the company. Instead, they wanted to put Su Xiaokuan from the third branch in charge. They also mocked her for being young and having a low status, saying she only deserved to sit with kids. Before the words fell, the woman appeared domineeringly. With her decisive methods, she took all the shares in an instant. The woman ordered someone to inform the third branch to show up at her father's funeral obediently, then left with the little boy and returned to the Su residence. When the stepmother saw them, she scolded the little boy for bringing her back, and shouted insults at the woman non-stop. The woman slapped her backhand, teaching her a lesson, saying she was now in charge of the Su family. The stepmother refused to accept it and immediately called for bodyguards. The woman waved her hand casually, and a powerful aura sent all the bodyguards flying away. The stepmother was so scared she didn't dare to breathe. It wasn't until her son handed her the share agreement that she realized the woman had already dealt with the board of directors and she'd come back to help her. At this time, her cousin came to provoke them, but he harassed the stepmother in the morning hall and said rude things to the woman. The woman taught him a harsh lesson without mercy. The stepmother took the chance to expose that it was the third branch who forbade relatives to pay respects to the father. But the cousin was still extremely arrogant, saying even if she had the share transfer agreement, it was useless without the official seal. It was just waste paper. The stepmother said the official seal had gone missing after her husband died. The woman concluded that her father's death was definitely related to the third branch. The cousin took out a 200 million check, trying to bribe her into giving up the fight. The woman tore the check on the spot and poured her father's ashes into a teacup, asking the cousin to drink a cup. The cousin flew into a rage, calling her crazy, and stormed off. The woman asked the stepmother to take a sip of the tea too, and found the tea was actually sweet. That's when she realized her husband's body had long been swapped. Then the little boy took the woman to find his spoiled eldest brother Su Linzhou. Su Linzhou advised her not to waste her time, saying the Blood Dragon Palace was not to be messed with. Little did he know the Blood Dragon Palace was the second-ranked organization on the dark web. But the woman didn't take the Blood Dragon Palace seriously at all. Later, following the clues, the woman stopped her cousin's bulletproof modified car transporting the body on the highway. Facing the cousin's arrogant shouts, the woman actually smashed the 30 million modified bulletproof glass with her bare hands, then picked up the cousin like he was a chick. In front of him, she directly called the leader of the Blood Dragon Palace, challenged him domineeringly, and made an appointment to meet at the board meeting tomorrow. The woman finally saw her father's body. She carried her father's body on her back, walking home step by step, just like when her father carried her home when she was little. Then she ordered to mobilize the 3 heavenly gods of Lioli Palace, 5 divine generals and 10,000 phoenix guards, to arrive tomorrow morning by 3,000 planes. She tied her cousin to a chair, forcing him to personally admit that the third branch colluded with the Blood Dragon Palace to force their father to death and attempt to seize the family property. The cousin thought no one would know about these things, but But after he confessed everything, the lights around suddenly turned on. It turned out this was the scene of the shareholders' meeting. Every word he just said was recorded by all major media without missing a single one. He never expected to be tricked by the woman. At this moment he completely lost his mind, shouting that his godfather would slaughter the second branch. The stepmother ran over saying her third uncle was coming with the Blood Dragon Palace's experts soon. Su Linzhou was so scared he begged the woman to run away quickly. But the woman stood firm as a mountain, not moving an inch. She told her young brother a little tiger will eventually become the king of the mountains. Today eldest sister will teach you what it means to cut the weeds and dig up the roots. The cousin immediately clapped his hands, admiring her courage, saying when the Blood Dragon Palace arrives she'll be dead meat. As soon as he finished speaking, a heavy murderous aura came from outside the door. The Blood Dragon Palace's army had arrived at the gate. The ultimate battle that would decide the Su family's life or death was about to begin.